It's good to see some good mix of familiar names and some new names. So welcome everyone to Marketing Crash Course. My name is Sammy. I am the Events and Education Coordinator at Goosefoot. So I run all of our workshops, I run our social media, I do all of our events and a lot of the marketing as well. Just a quick look at my background. I actually have a master's degree in integrated marketing communication. So, communicating with people and getting the word out is really one of my passions. I just find the way we talk to each other really intriguing. So one of the fun things about the current situation is that we are perfectly poised to get creative with our marketing. A lot of small businesses in our community. My sound is on. Are you guys not hearing me okay? I just noticed Mira was asking if the sound's on. I've got my mic on. Is everyone hearing me okay? Okay, great. So, as I was saying earlier, small businesses, a lot of times that I talk to them, you get kind of stuck in a rut. You have your usual things you always do because that's always what you've done or what someone told you should be doing. And you don't really have time to explore the different ways that you could market that would maybe be even more effective for your business. But now, since everything's up in the air, everything's changed, it's a really good time to look and see what options are out there and get a little bit more creative. And who knows, you might find something that really boosts your business far more than anything you've done before. So with that in mind, as a crash course, we only have 45 minutes. Please feel free to ask questions at any time. For those of you who are not familiar with Zoom webinars rather than Zoom meetings, I cannot hear or see you. That's just how they're structured. You can only hear or see me. So the only way you can communicate with me is by using the chat or the question and answer feature. Feel free to put your questions or comments into both. I will check both of them regularly and answer questions as I go. As I said on that first screen, please make sure you change your to field to all panelists and attendees so that you can see everybody's comments, not just mine. Depending on your internet speed, you might lose this a little bit. I do record all of these and upload them to YouTube later, so you can always watch it back, see if there's anything you missed. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. And again, if you have any questions, please ask them at any time. So as you can see with this slide, there are a lot of types of marketing. A lot of people conflate marketing and advertising as one and the same. They're not necessarily. And there are even more forms of marketing that are not even on this screen. And I'm not going to go one by one on these, but if you have any specific questions about what any of these are, please feel free to ask. But marketing is just the process of communicating and reaching out to folks. Let's see, somebody just asked, I have the background in so much getting word out through all kinds of channels, but the actual client signing up is where I need assistant support. It appears like others who offer similar things I do have had success. Wonder if I might be missing a step or technique. It's possible. There's always a lot of different ways businesses work, and the same message in a different market is not always going to have the same success. So there's a lot of different factors that could be going into your success or failure. Without knowing more details, I can't know for sure. And unfortunately, a forum like this is a little too broad for that specifically. But if you have specific questions, please feel free to email me later. So the biggest thing I wanted to communicate with this slide is that there are some things on here you might be doing already. There are some things you might never have heard of. There are some things you might have heard of, but you're not doing for whatever reason. But the biggest thing is you should not put all of your eggs in one basket with marketing. You should be doing a variety of things that tie in well together so that you can reach more people in different ways when they may be prepared more to actually receive your message. And you should do all of these and play them together. Not necessarily all of them. Some of them is not going to work depending on what kind of business you have, but pick a number of platforms and use them in conjunction with each other. Don't just put all of your marketing budget in Facebook ads, or just do local newspaper ads, or just rely on word of mouth. You really need to do a mix of these things. When you are working on your marketing plan, you really need to focus on your target customer. So it's really easy to try to reach everybody possible. I talk to a lot of businesses and I ask them, well, who is your target customer? And they go, oh, I'm for everybody. But that is just blatantly not true for any business ever. Otherwise, we would all shop at Walmart and eat at McDonald's, because those are the closest models to I'm for everybody. Different customers value different things. They get their information from different places. So you need to focus in, especially as a small business with a small budget, you need to focus on the target customer who is the most likely to do business with you with the least amount of convincing on your part. They're already in a place where they want to buy what you're selling. They want to work with you. They just need to know that you exist, or they have the problem that you solve and they don't even know that you're a solution. So to focus in on that target customer, think of one ideal customer. What age are they? How much do they make in income? What education level are they? What's their family status? What do they value the most, and where do they get their information? Obviously, for some of your businesses, not all of these questions are completely relevant. If you're a woman's boutique clothing store, education level probably will not impact your customers quite as much, but income very much does. If they're making $20,000 or less, they can't afford to buy from you. Gender very much does. If it's a women's boutique, your primary customer are women. Obviously, if somebody walks in off the street that is not your target customer, they see your flyer, they see the way you reach out, you're not going to turn them away, but you didn't spend money specifically trying to reach them. You can answer these questions a lot by looking at your existing client base, or looking at who you would like to be your client base. There are a lot of really great tools to do research on this. Unfortunately, that's such a big, in-depth subject that I talk about it in the full 2-hour length version of this workshop, but I don't have time to get into it to 45 minutes. So there are some tools I'll show you near the end from Snow Isle Libraries that can help you look into these, but you really need to focus on your niche customer. Who is that? The more focused you can get, the more impactful your message will be. I think about it this way. When you're talking to a group of people, if there is, 5 people there and they're all different ages, say you go to a family gathering and you've got your 15-year-old niece, your 28-year-old cousin, your 50-year-old brother, and your 80-year-old grandparent, or sorry, your father, and you're trying to talk about something with them. How hard is it for you right now to come up with something to talk about that would be interesting and engaging to all of those people at the exact same time? It can be done, but it's pretty difficult, especially when you start putting constraints on, all right, at the end of this conversation, I want them to come buy something from me. Whereas if you're only having a one-on-one conversation with one of those people in the room, or say you go out to lunch with a group of friends and they're all the same age and the same interests, and that's what brought them together as friends, it is much easier to pick one subject to interest all of those people with. So that is why you focus on target customers rather than all customers. You're a lot more impactful when you can get down to what that group really cares about. And like I said, there's so much out there on how to research the best target customer, and I don't have time to get into it today, but I will send you guys some links after this workshop is over on how you figure out your target customer. A tool that helps a lot of marketers, you don't have to do this, but I do when I'm working on projects for clients, is you can create a sample customer profile for them. You go out, you pick a pretty stock image picture that you can put on the wall, and you're like, you are my target customer. People like you are my target customer. I want to reach you. And so you put that up on your wall next to where you're working on your marketing. And so when you're writing a new message, you're picking a new venue to put that message out on, you can look at that picture and go, am I actually talking to you, or am I talking to myself? It's just a nice little tool that'll help you do that. And give yourself the answer to those questions. Make up a fictional person, or pick one that's, in your head that it's like, yeah, this is like who I would like to attract. Tell me what age they are, what their gender is, their marital status, where are they, what do they do for a living, how much money do they make, what's their family situation like, what do they really care about? Is it convenience? Is it price? What is it that they focus on and care about? Where do they get their information from? Do they spend a lot of time on Facebook, or is it Instagram? Do they watch broadcast television, or they stick to streaming services? Do they read the newspaper, or do they use things like Twitter or news feeds? Where do they actually get their information, and what do they care about? Lenore asked, what about putting up an actual customer who is ideal? If you know an actual person, somebody in your customer base right now that you would like to target more people like that, you can absolutely use them to build your customer profile. You do not have to let them know that you did that, because obviously you're not going to be publicizing this anywhere. It is just for your own reference. But if there is a real person that is your ideal customer, feel free to use them as well, just to remind yourself who you're trying to talk to and who you're trying to reach. And again, I will send all of these slides out to all of you afterwards, so you can study this profile a little bit more in depth if you're interested in it. But there's a lot of ways to write a profile. It could be something this formal. It could be something a lot looser that's maybe 3 lines of text and a picture, whatever makes sense for you. But just so that it's your reference tool, do it however makes best sense for you. When you're actually creating the message that you're trying to get out, you really need to focus. Pick one message that's going to get the greatest response from your target market, and the one message that's most important to you. I see a lot of small businesses make this mistake of they try to cover too much in too small of a space. Years ago, I ran a workshop like this for specifically nonprofits. And beforehand, since they all signed up, I actually went looking for their ads where they had placed them. And I put those I could find up as examples, and we went over what they did right and what they did wrong. And the one I remember the best was Habitat for Humanity. They had an ad about the size of a business card that covered volunteer for Habitat for Humanity, apply if you need a house, donate to our stores, and shop at our stores. So there was 4 messages crammed into that small of a space. There was so much going into it that you could not understand it by a quick glance, because that's really what most people will see your message in, is a very quick glance as they're going about their regular day. Do not make that mistake. You think you're saving money because, oh, we just ran 1 ad instead of 4. We saved a whole bunch of money. But really all you've done is just wasted all of your money, because you've lost all of the impact. You've lost all of the attention grabbing. So now you've paid for something that nobody saw because it wasn't effective at grabbing any attention at all. The more focused you can be, the more effective you can be. So now if you see Habitat for Humanity ads in the local papers, they usually have it focused on just the store. They'll do volunteer stuff at a different time, but it's just donate or shop to the store. So it's a lot more impactful, and you can actually see what's happening in that small space, and it grabs your attention. This is a fabulous example of why you should stay focused. Take a minute to look at this ad I've got on the screen here, and let me know if you can understand what this ad is for at all. Sorry, my mouse is going a little crazy. As you can see, it is kind of a mess. Somebody just asked, Mira asked, so you're talking about the billboard rule. What will a customer notice at 60 miles per hour? Absolutely. Billboard rule is wonderful for when you're composing any sort of ads or marketing messages. Other than specific formats like long form videos or blog posts or something more in depth than that, like newsletters, people actively sit down to look through that. But the vast majority of messages you get out into the world through marketing, we're living our lives at 60 miles per hour. We're going so fast and there's so much happening and coming at us all the time. We don't have the time to notice stuff unless it's, readable from 60 miles per hour. So that is a great analogy. Heidi, I love your comment. Catherine asked, does the one message rule apply to Instagram and other media? Absolutely. So not your overall Instagram, but each post, that should be one message. If you have lots of things going on, make different individual posts talking about them. Don't try to cram all of them into a single Instagram or Facebook post. Great example of this, we've got Earth and Ocean Month going on right now. I do one post that's like, hey, it's Earth and Ocean Month, there's stuff happening. But then I do individual posts for the art show. I do individual posts for the kickoff event, for the breakout sessions. They're not all crammed into one space, especially with social media. There is no reason to cram it all onto one page like this. Quinn asked, do you differentiate messages from tagline? I'm not sure what USP means, but you can differentiate with taglines. Certain elements like colors, taglines, those can be consistent across campaigns. So it shows it all came from the same company or the same brand. But if you have, sub campaigns going on, you could have a variety of taglines if you needed to. So going back to the example ad on the screen here, as you can see, there's at least 4 different things going on here. It is actually an ad for this touchless key entry. The first circle in yellow and the box, the third box below that, those both apply to that. That is what the ad is actually for. In the meantime, they also are advertising a giveaway that they're doing to this Sydney racing car. They've got in the middle of those 2 boxes about the touchless entry, they have the advertisement for the giveaway. I still, to this day, I've used this ad in a number of workshops as examples. I have no idea why the bicyclist is there at all. You don't need keys for a bicycle, let alone, keyless entry like this. So I have no idea at all why the bicyclist is there. My best assumption is it's because he's wearing a branded jersey for the Lockwood Company. But the bicyclist is completely unnecessary in this. They're advertising 2 separate things at the same time. It is a mess. It's very confusing. Mira made the good point of no pockets in bicycle shorts. That's possible, but there's just not enough connective tissue here to make this make sense. There's no messaging in there that says, never carry keys while you're out on your bicycle. There's nothing that ties the bicyclist in here specifically. So this is a really great example of what I mean of stay focused, because this is just a mess and it has no impact whatsoever. If I was flipping through the magazine this appeared in, I would continue to flip because nothing on this page actually catches my eye and makes me want to look harder at it. So I know a lot of you guys are like, okay, great. I know I need to reach my target customer. I know I need to try some new stuff, but what can I actually do? That's what I came here for. Just give me actual task that I can complete. First off, great thing to do right now is to build up your social media presence. because of the disruption in our lives, because everybody is isolated at home and not connecting with each other in person as they're used to, everybody is turning much more to social media. Even my friends who were almost never on Facebook, they're constantly posting on Facebook now because they just don't have an outlet to tell people about their day or their thoughts. So people are going to social media in droves, both for the connecting factor and for distraction and entertainment. So now is a great time to really build up your social media presence. Because of everything we're doing, and because I don't want to be competing against businesses who need the added attention, we've actually downgraded some of Goosefoot's social media. I've been posting a lot less frequently, and yet I've still been getting significant jumps in followers without any effort on my part. So right now is a really great time. If you have social media that you don't usually use, or if you've been thinking about starting a Facebook or an Instagram or a YouTube or whatever account, now is a great time for you to try, get out there, get the word out, put yourself where people can find you, and start connecting with those people that are desperately hungry for connection. And I mentioned this in the social media classes the other day, but keep in mind with social media, it's not a soapbox. It is not a place for you to just blindly blast your message and call it good. It is a social media platform. It is meant for connection. So you need to connect with people as much as you want them to connect with you. If you're interested in more about that, I did record the last two Intro to Instagram and Intro to Facebook crash courses, and they're up on our YouTube channel. And I do have a longer 2-hour Intro to Instagram workshop tonight. So uh, maybe focus on online or home delivery services. If you have a product that you usually only sell in your physical shop, look into pivoting to offering online sales. I know a lot of people are kind of afraid of online websites, but we have a lot of workshops recorded on our YouTube channel, and there's a lot of very easy to use tools that'll show you how to get online and get your business online. You can also offer home delivery. Tell people, I will bring it to your house, or we'll ship it to you. We'll take your business to them where they currently are. And even if you don't have a business with a physical good, a lot of services can work this way as well. I have, various professionals I meet with. Almost all of them have pivoted to doing it online. Obviously, there are some categories where you physically cannot do it online, such as, I can't go see my chiropractor online. That's just not how it's going to work. But you would be surprised how many of your businesses would actually work with a secure online connection and a little bit of creativity. As Quinn asked, do you have a recording of the marketing course? Nope, because I haven't taught it yet in a webinar format. And unfortunately, right now, the marketing is not scheduled until I think June 11th. So it's pretty far out there, but I am happy to answer questions if you guys have any. Keep on them in the chat, or I can also answer them by email later. Somebody anonymous asked, considering getting into Instagram, do I need a cell phone, smartphone for that, or is it possible to do Instagram marketing from a laptop? It is not possible to use Instagram from a laptop or a desktop. I talked about that yesterday, but it is an app. You have to have some sort of a mobile device, whether that is a smartphone or a tablet. That is how Instagram functions. You can look at Instagram on your computer, but you cannot post from your computer. So you do need some sort of cell phone or a tablet or something mobile. If you're trying to get your message out in whatever form you usually use, look for ways to help. I know you guys are scared. I know there's a lot going on with your businesses, but even with all of that, it's not all about you. We're all impacted equally. We're all in this together, which is a great opportunity for you. See if there's a way your business could help other people, whether that is not necessarily, you don't have to necessarily give things away for free, but is there something your business can do that would fill a need, whether that's connection, if that's product that you could offer. For you've seen a lot of articles out there about, for example, distilleries that have pivoted from making spirits to making hand sanitizer. um, I know that's not how a lot of your businesses work, and all of you are unique, but there is something you're uniquely good at that could help folks. Even if you say own a clothing store and you're like, I can't do anything. How many returns or damaged products do you have that's sitting in the back room that's not being used because it's not good enough quality to sell? You've had it forever, so you need to clear it out of your inventory. You can't return it to the manufacturer. Could you offer up that damaged goods for people to take and make masks out of it? If you do online, if you do consulting, can you maybe expand your hours or switch up a bit for people who are feeling anxious and need a bit more help? These workshops are a great example of how Goosefoot's pivoted. I dropped all of my usual to-do list to offer all of these classes as quickly as I could in 45-minute bursts. So look at the world around you and find the ways you can help. It'll build the community around you. It'll make sure everybody gets through this okay, but it'll also make people feel more connected to you and trust you later down the road, because you weren't just in it for yourself. You weren't trying to capitalize on the current situation. You were trying to help. If your business, you can't do it online for whatever reason, there's nothing you can do to help, like that's fine, but you can still keep folks updated. Use your platforms that you have built, your social media or your newsletter, or however you usually talk to customers, even if it's just putting up a sign on your storefront, and let people know what's going on with you. Let people know, yeah, we're closed right now, but we're doing these sort of things. Are you renovating your space? Are you redoing your business model? Are you maybe in threat of going under? I don't know. You need to tell people that, though. There are so many local businesses that have just gone silent. I'll look on their website and they haven't changed anything on their website. They haven't made a post on social media for almost a month. So I'm just like, so what's happening with you? Can I call you and order stuff for pickup? Are you just firmly closed? What are you doing? This is a great time to tell your customers that. Stay in touch with the people who already love your business and already want to support you. And even if there is no way for them to support you right now, tell them what you're up to. Stay relevant in their brain, stay top of mind, so that when you are ready to come out in a way that they can support, or when things go back to normal, they haven't completely forgotten you existed. And so then you have to start from square one. Stay relevant in people's minds. I thought I saw another question, but I guess not, because I did already answer the Instagram one. Be creative. There are so many really cool, interesting ideas going around on the internet that I've seen lately. I've seen a lot more new businesses get into video. I've seen people sending physical postcards, which is my next suggestion. I've seen social media used in really unique and interesting ways. I've seen people upping their social media outreach. There's so many interesting, unique things you could do that you've never done before. Now's a great time to just give it a try. If you really are closed and you're not running your business right now, obviously I don't know your home situation. Everybody has something going on, but you maybe have the time for those unique, out of the box ideas that you've always had in the back of your head of like, it would be nice to do this, but I just don't have time. Now is the time. Try things, get interesting, get creative. Even if it doesn't explode, it doesn't go super well for you, you at least tried that idea that's been nagging you in the back of your brain. If you need some maybe good inspiration would be donuts. Has been having a lot of fun with this. Scott has been putting out a lot of videos lately. They're hilarious. They are weird. They're really interesting. He's picking up a lot of traction with that. So that is a unique way to maybe reach out to an audience. Apologies, Lenore, I missed your question. A lot of institutions are doing giveaways right now as a big part of their marketing. How important is it to offer free things? It's harder for a single person enterprise. I'm actually not a big proponent of offering free things right now, because the thing is, like, yes, people are struggling. A lot of people have lost their income. A lot of people have reduced income, but for the customers who are going to support you, they already can support you. That's why they're, looking to support you. A lot of folks, especially luckily around here, are in a position that they were either already retired and not working, or they have jobs that they can do remotely from home. And the people who are out looking to support your business are, they're looking at the current situation. They know they need to help our local small businesses if they want their communities to stay the way they are. So you just need to give them the opportunity to support them. You need to tell them how, buy a gift card, shop online, what do you want them to do? I don't think you need to give it away for free. And especially if it's not going to help your business at all. You'll just end up attracting a lot of people who are looking for free stuff, not necessarily people who would turn into customers down the road. So there's a careful balance with giving it away for free. And, it depends on what you're doing. Physical products are really hard, but stuff like this, recorded video, this is very easy for me to give away for free because I'd be teaching this anyway. So now I'm just recording it and putting it up on YouTube as well. So it really depends on your own business, but I'm saying do not feel pressured to give stuff away for free. If you're in a position to, awesome, but it is not going to be the make or break for your business. Back to the ideas. Now is a great time to send postcards to your existing customers, letting them know you're thinking about them. Even if you don't have a way for them to support you, you're not selling gift cards, you don't have an online store, you can't meet people digitally, you're just hunkering down and writing this out. It's important to stay top of mind and let people remember that you exist and that they should come back to you. But postcards are a great way to do that. One, because, who doesn't love something nice in the mail that's just for them? Two, it's a great way to support our U.S. Postal Service, and hopefully you guys seen it on the internet. They're in a little bit of trouble now with the increased volume. But just sending somebody a postcard in the mail of like, hey, I'm thinking of you, I hope you're safe. It is a great way to reach out to your customers, remind them that you exist, and remind them that you actually care about them, and you care how they're doing. This obviously really only works if you have a list of your customers and their addresses, maybe if you have customer logs, but there are also tools you can use to send to everybody. They just might not be exclusively your customers. There are a lot of library tools for this, but the post office will also let you blanket hit specific zip codes. So don't be afraid to reach out in physical form. Letters are great. Postcards are great. You can reach out in digital forms, just social media or newsletters, but do not isolate yourself entirely in this. Make sure you're still reaching out to customers and potential customers in these current times. Pam asked, are the videos on YouTube under Goosefoot or are your name? They are under Goosefoot Community Fund. Once again, I will send you a link to this video once it's live, and you can just click through to see the channel and all of the videos. If you are in a position where you really just cannot sell a physical good online, or you have a service that just does not translate to online, doesn't matter what kind of business you are, you could offer a gift card. Gift cards in Washington state never expire. It is for the exact, cash amount that they purchased it for. They can be redeemed at any time. But gift cards are a great way for people who are like, I love your business and I want to help, but you don't have a way for me to actually buy anything from you right now. They can buy a gift card. It gives you a little bit of cash flow now, and it gives them the opportunity to support you in person later. There are so many gift card tools out there. Facebook is actually working really closely right now with Squarespace and Cabbage to do gift card programs that they would actually advertise on Facebook. But literally, there's so many great resources out there for selling a gift card if you don't have your own website set up for e-commerce. Just a simple, small business gift card search on whatever browser you like to use best will give you a lot of really good options. They do take a little bit of a chunk just to process it, but it's a great way to offer people the option to support you without having to work out the logistics of how they can do that when you're not physically open. So the reason I have bonds in here is a suggestion as well. This is something that the Langley Chamber is doing, but honestly, you could do it as your own business as well, where you encourage people of, hey, buy this gift card now, and later down the road, 60 days, however long you want to set. If you hold on to it for that time, it's going to be worth more later. This strategy very clearly works. It's why our government has done it in times of war. It frees up some cash flow for you now, and rewards people for supporting you when you are in trouble now, later down the road. So nothing, you can't call it an actual bond because there's so many legal hoops to jump through. There's designations you have to go through in order to actually do a bond. But you can do something like that same mindset where buy it now, it's worth more later, is a thank you for supporting me right now. So look at interesting ways to get people to support you. But really, at the end of the day, whatever marketing channel you choose, be that social media, newsletters, print, whatever, whatever you choose and whoever you're reaching, the biggest thing at the end of the day that you need to focus on is, what do you want that outcome to be? What do you want them to actually do with that information? Keep that in your mind and build your entire message around those three ideas. What do you want them to do? Who are you trying to reach? And where are you going to reach them at? That is going to inform all of how you build your entire marketing strategy. So, as I mentioned, there are so many free tools on our library. I absolutely adore them. You should absolutely use some of these. As I mentioned, unfortunately, we only have about 5 minutes left, so I can't get into all of them, but I will send these slides out so you can go through them yourself. But I'm actually just going to click on one just to show you really quick. Come on, open. If you go to the library's research resources and business and finance, there are so many tools in here. There's trade and industry journals that break down how different industries work, marketing strategies, benefits and drawbacks. There's great business magazines like Entrepreneur, The Economist. You can get business plan bookshelves if you need idea business plans, which often include a marketing plan. Demographic information. This is a great tool for answering a lot of those questions of, what age, what income, what are their interests, where do they get their information. Lynda.com has a lot of really great videos on marketing. And if you click this link on the library's page, you can just log in with your library card and not have to pay for a Lynda.com account. Reference USA has an entire section. Never mind. See, it's currently not working. So we'll skip the Reference USA. But Small Business Reference Center has an entire category just on marketing. So there's a lot of really great tools on this business and finance page or in their business section if you use that instead. There's a lot of great books you can download with just a click. There are ones in here specifically on marketing. So use these library tools. They're completely free for you. You're already paying for them. So you might as well put them to use to help you get creative and really reach out for them. If there's so many books on marketing. I've got a really good one called Marketing to Millennials that's entertaining and also um, breaks down unique ways you can craft messages. And honestly, I think the applicability is broader now that more people are forced online. And I should specify that when I said I have a book, it's physically on my shelf. I did not write it. But there's so many books out there you can read. So use these library tools. You're already paying for them. So as I mentioned, I promise I will send this slide deck out to you all afterwards so you can click through these resources and read this wall of text for yourself later without having to like pause the screen right now or something. So some next steps, and please keep asking questions if you have any of them. Put what you've learned into action. Right now is really the time to figure out your marketing plan, even beyond this current crisis, but broad term, how are you going to market your business when you're back open physically? You're welcome to come to the full marketing class June 13th. I know it's so far out, I apologize. That's just how the schedule worked out. You can prepare a draft marketing plan. So sit down, write it out, figure out your budget for marketing and your schedule. I will give you this caution. There's no such thing as free marketing. Everything is going to cost you, whether that is in money or time. There's like this nexus of like really effective marketing. And if it's not going to cost you very much money, it takes you a lot of time. And if it's not going to take you very much time, it costs you a lot of money. So figure out what for you is affordable right now, both in time and money, but work it out of what is the most effective way to reach people, when, where, let people know. And write it down for yourself so you can come back and reference it. I don't know about you guys, but right now I'm doing like 20 different projects. So I'll come back to a project and sit down and go, wait, what was I doing? Where was I at? I don't remember. So write it down so that you can actually remember what it is you want to do and how the best ways to do what you want to do. Research what other companies are doing. This is a great time to spend trolling social media or newspaper articles or videos to see what are other companies doing. Is this something I can do? One of my favorite quotes that I use in a lot of different workshops is amateurs imitate, professionals steal. You can absolutely look around and go, hey, that caught my attention. That's a really cool thing. Can I do something similar? Obviously, you can't steal their ad whole cloth or you're just advertising their business, but you can get inspiration. There's a lot of stuff that you could do something similar if you just had the right tools or the right idea. So use what other companies are doing that resonates with you or your audience and use that as a springboard to do something similar for yourself. When you have an idea of something you might want to do, but you're worried it's going to be really costly or really time costly, you can run it as a test campaign. Just pick a few customers to try it on. You can either tell them that's what you're doing and get their opinion, or you can just do it and see what people's reaction is. If it's successful, cool, ramp it up and run it in a broader scope. If it isn't quite as successful, maybe tweak it and try another test campaign. But the only way you're going to be effective with your marketing is by trying. You can come to these classes, you can read all of the books, you can do, a master's level program like I did. But if that's all you ever do, you're just sitting in a room and thinking about stuff. At the end of the day, you actually have to do something. When I was working on my marketing degree, it really all coalesced in my final class where we actually had to write a marketing campaign for a company. So you really only learn this stuff. You really only get good at it by doing it. So go out there and do it. Try some stuff. What have you got to lose? And as you're doing this, stay focused on your goals. Who are you trying to reach and what do you want them to do? Make sure you stay focused to stay effective. So we're up at our time. That's all I have for you guys. I know I just dumped a lot of information on you. I'm sorry. But if you guys have any questions, please feel free to email them to me. I will be sending you a link to this video along with the slides and some other resources. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope I see you at future workshops, and good luck, stay safe, and have a great day.